Hello, JP here, and today we've got another video putting a Temu product together. Today we've got this shelving unit we're going to put together, and hopefully they've included all the proper hardware, unlike they did with my little workbench I put together. And we'll get into this in just a minute. I'm going to get this open and reposition the camera, and we'll get started. All right, let's get this open and make sure we got all our parts. Now, I don't know how many of y'all out there order off Temu, but y'all know it's gambling, right? It's a gamble because of the games they play to try and get you to buy more product. And of course, it's a gamble because you never know exactly what you're going to get. Is it going to be worth your money or is it not? And I have found that it is truly a gamble when it comes to Temu, because you never know what you're going to get. I've purchased quite a few things off Temu, and I will say I've been fairly lucky most of the time that I get decent products, such as right now I'm using this little Follow Me camera gimbal. It moves my camera for me and keeps me in picture all the time, and that so far has worked out pretty well. Seems to work quite nicely. I also got a much better camera tripod from them. I had one of these little selfie stick tripods, and it was okay, but as y'all probably saw in the video where I was mounting a TV and painting some wood, that little tripod blew right over in not a very strong wind. So yeah, it doesn't always work out to the best. Alrighty, so far we're looking pretty good. Well, that was a lot of the hardware, and these are the actual shelves. And there's some more hardware. And the instructions. So let's take a look here, see what we got. Isn't that nice of them? They provided us with a little anti-cotton gloves, a little hammer made out of cheap plastic to knock this together. Let's see what the instructions have to say here. Assembly instructions. Okay, it says that the height of boards are adjustable according to your preferences. Can be divided into two distinct shelves. To extend the product's life, keep it in a cool, dry environment. Well, it's going to be in my garage, so that should cover that. Avoid stacking items too high on the top shelf for safety reasons, and please do not place items that exceed the weight limit of the product page. And it says to avoid accidents, move the shelves by holding part under the connectors. They're talking about between the top part and the bottom part. As you can see here, it comes in two distinct pieces. One sets on top of the other. All right, parts list. Vertical bars, we should have 8. That's going to be these. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got all those. And we got short crossbars, we got 10. That's going to be these. And at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes, we got all those. Long crossbars, says we got 10 of those. Let's see here. That's 5. And that's 5. We got all those pieces. Now for our connectors, says we should have 4 of them. There's 2 of them. And there's 2 more. Rubber foot pads. It says we should have 16 rubber foot pads. Let's see here. There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Yes, we do. And then it says we have 2 links, these little round pieces. I don't know if you can see that or not, a little round piece there. Yeah. Looks like we definitely have 2 of those. All right. And of course we got our boards. We should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we do. And let's see, we got a pair of gloves, rubber hammer, and then we got an anti-slip kit. Anti-slip kit. Well, here we go. Anti-slip kit. That's to screw it to the wall to keep it from tipping over on us. It says, please wear gloves before installation. Insert rubber foot pads B into 4 vertical bars as shown below. Okay. Take out 4 of our little rubber foot pads here. They say these are rubber. These ain't rubber. These are plastic. Good old hard plastic. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, these have got little keyholes in them, as you can see. And the narrow end of the keyhole goes down. So this would be the bottom here. And we'll put our little foot pads on. And I forgot to put the gloves on. Well, that's all right. This doesn't really seem to be sharp enough to cut somebody. Ow! No, I'm just kidding. I've got pretty thick skin from doing all this kind of crazy stuff all the time. Alrighty, that's got that step taken care of. Now let's see what the next steps is. Haha. Says make sure the small holes on the vertical bar facing down. Yep. We'll install a short crossbar number 2 and a long crossbar number 3 on the vertical bars and tighten with a hammer. Put the flat side of the board across the support bar facing up as picture shows. Okay. Knock the crossbar with the rubber hammer until the bar covers the holes completely. Okay, so we've got a short crossbar here and a long crossbar. And it says that you have to make sure that this flat side here, yeah, there you go. Now you can see. Make sure that that faces up because, of course, that's what our shelf is going to sit on. Alrighty then. So we're going to slide this in here like so. And again, this piece here. Now, question. You see what I did here? And we'll show you. This one is installed correctly. See the little flat spot is on the inside. This one, however, I put in incorrectly. It was on the outside. So we're going to change that around. We'll get it slid down in there. Well, and then it says take the rubber hammer and beat it in place. So I might step this down to do it. And I'm going to be off frame for just a second while I do that. Alrighty, well that's got one corner done. Let's do another. long piece. Let's see. A short piece should go this way. Yeah, I might set that down. Oh, let's see here. Let me make sure I get it all lined up correctly here. Now, pull this back just a hair. Oh, and here's our long piece. And just that got our base built. Alrighty, that's got our base built. I'm gonna kind of pick you up here and give you a show there. You can kind of see it. Well, my little gimbal would cooperate. You can see that. Oop. There we go. Alright. Now it's just a matter of adding the other pieces and putting the shelves in. So, not sure I can do a time lapse yet. Video editors I have don't have that included. So I'm just going to pause here while I put this lower piece together. I just wanted to tell y'all, I do have some more of these particular types of shelves, or well, yeah, shelves in my garage, and they can be a little wobbly. Usually once I get them put together, I take self-tapping sheet metal screws and some big flat washers, and I screw these things together at their connections so that they don't wobble and they don't come apart. And I'll show you that when I get closer to the end. Alrighty, so we started on this Temu shelf. I've got it about halfway together here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling the top half of it. And they did include all the parts, and I'm not missing anything that I can tell. And we'll just crack on with that. Alrighty, so we'll need to assemble the next set of uprights. And again, the large end of the hole goes up, the keyhole goes down. And I'm going to be out of frame for just a second while I stand up and bang these in with their little hammer that they sent me. Well, apparently these don't have to be banged in. They slot right in rather easily. Of course, now that I've said that, I'll get you one that's going to give me a hard time. Now, there we go. All right. So next we'll put in the end pieces here. Again, this flat side here has to go up. That's what actually holds the shelf. And then we'll put in our long pieces. And then we'll install our shelf. So, I may end up swapping these out with some actual plywood. These are a little flimsy. I'll set that one right there for right now when I get the last pieces put on. Those are all locked into place. You get this top shelf on here. And that nice cheap shelving unit Temu is together. And these little end pieces go on here. Protects you. And of course, they give you extras in case you wanted to do this. It's two separate shelves instead of one big shelf, which I didn't choose to do, so I will have some extras there. course, they also come with these little round connectors here. Again, if you want to make this two separate shelves, these lock in like this so that you can tie the two pieces together. And again, I don't need those because I did one big shelf. And as I had mentioned earlier, I have some other shelves here that are this type of construction, and they're a little wobbly. This one's not that bad, but I know how they can be. So what I do is I take special self-tapping sheet metal screws that I have, and give me a tape so I can find them. Anyway, I screw these together and put some large washers on them. Now these screws are a little long for what I'm going to do, but these are the washers that I use. So I'm going to pull several of them out and see if I can't find those other sheet metal screws that I have, and I'll zip this together in a more permanent fashion so that it doesn't wibble wobble and come apart on me. Because, you know, as you Gen Xers may remember, weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Well, let me tell you, this one weebles and wobbles, and it does fall down. Alrighty, I'm going to get set up here with a drill and a driver, and I'll be right back with you. Well, it turns out that the screws that I thought I was going to use really aren't long enough, so I'm going to have to go with these long ones after all in order to properly secure this. It's not ideal, but it will work. Basically, just want to get one at each connection here. And again, these are a self-tapping screw, so they make their own hole. They got kind of like a drill bit on the end of them. And I believe if I do them just from the ends here, that it should be strong enough to hold it together. I'm hoping so anyway. If not, we'll find out later. And I'll go and put some more screws in it. Now, on these interconnectors here, I am going to use those smaller screws because I can get away with them here. I couldn't get away with them in this other position because of how this is indented here. These little screws wouldn't reach, but on these little interconnectors, they've got a hole already there to put a screw in. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, that is if I can keep from dropping the screws. Alrighty. There we go. And again, this is just to make yourself more secure, because I'm sure I will be pushing and shoving it around a little bit until I get it where I want it and get it loaded down. Of course, once I get it loaded, I won't be moving it. But I have learned with these others that I have that if I try to move it or anything, loaded or unloaded, they tend to come apart. And that's why I have learned to screw them together. Sometimes that's easier said than done. I mean, these are sheet metal screws, and this is sheet metal. And sometimes it can still be a little tough getting them started. Change bits here. Yeah, I probably should have center punched these or even pre-drilled them, but I'm just holding the washer to kind of hold on to the screw. And that seems to work okay. That washer does get a little warm while I'm running it in, but better than hanging on the screw, tearing up my hand. Oop, missed on that one. There we go. All right, I'm going to spin this around here And we'll do the other side, and then I'll do the bottom. Already holding it getting better just from those few right there. Oh. Alright, pull my bit out and get my little screws so I can do the connectors here, connect the top and bottom. Of course, this is a Craftsman impact driver, 20 volt. I bought pretty much all the Craftsman 20 volt battery operated tools. There's a few of them I don't know. I caught most of them on special at Lowe's back when I had a Lowe's card. That didn't want to go in there. Let me grab another one here. There we go. But no, I got the drill, the impact driver, the oscillating saw, the circular saw, the reciprocating saw, the angle grinder, the flashlight, the two fast chargers, a couple of slow chargers, a quarter sheet sander, the driveway edger or lawn edger, the blower, the weed eater. And it seems like I got one other. Oh yeah, the little hedge trimmer, which also doubles as a grass trimmer. It's got interchangeable blades on it, which I thought was kind of cool. They've all performed very well. These are just the little 2 amp batteries, although this one has got the 4 amp hour battery on it. No particular reason, it just happened to be the one I grabbed out of the pile. And they last reasonably long too. I will say I've been fairly impressed with their build quality and the longevity of the batteries. Not to mention, they do charge up pretty quick on quick chargers. Ooh, forgive me folks, that one got a little warm. Oh. Switch to a cooler one here. There we go. Now I'm just doing the end braces right now. If I need to later, I'll come back and do the long braces the same way with this screw treatment. basically this screw is just going through here, and it's not even catching this because it's notched on the back. But what it does, it ends up in the center of that notch, which keeps these from jumping out of these slots. Which, when you're moving these shelves around, that's usually what happens. Is these little pieces will jump up out of these slots, and it gets real sloppy then. Alrighty. Let's see here. More on the top, and then that will conclude today's video. I'm not going to bore y'all with all the last minute details or anything, but I'm going to put these two in, and we're going to call this one done, this assembly video of a Temu 6-foot 72-inch shelf. And it's so far been pretty good. Well, anyway, y'all get the idea. Thank you for watching and liking my videos. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that reminder bell for my new videos.